Just how would you describe what happened in the fourth quarter? What mostly went wrong?
Um, didn't happen in the fourth quarter. It happened in the second quarter. End of the first quarter, second quarter, we just started giving up straight line drives. They found a rhythm. That's when it happened. We found a way to get the lead back, but we never don't mess around with games. Mess around with games in this league, you lose. So that's what happened.
You guys have been pretty good in the non-Steph minutes since Jimmy's been here tonight. I think minus 16. I guess one of those pockets is the one you're talking about. But, I guess what were the issues with those kind of lineups?
Couldn't get a stop. Couldn't get into nothing good offensively. Couldn't get a stop.
Trey, when it comes to the leadership on this team, Steve Kerr, head coach Steve Kerr, said earlier that it was because of you, Steph, and Jimmy that you guys could get the team ready. How much of a weight is it on you guys now? Like you just said, you can't mess around in this league. How much of a weight is it on you guys to make sure everyone else is ready for the next two games, including, of course, you three?
Yeah, definitely got to make sure people are ready to play, but we are professionals and you know what's at stake. You got to come in ready to go.
And when you say mess around, do you think there was a lack of focus for this?
There's a lack of grit. Sometimes it don't take focus. Sometimes it takes grit. There's a lack of that.
Is that stunning to you that it would happen in this moment, this late in the season with this much on the line?
It's upsetting. I wouldn't say stunning. It's upsetting.
There's still, regardless of the significance of this loss, there's still some clear paths for y'all to, get out of the play-in. Even if you were to be in the play-in, obviously you'd be on the better side of that. How I guess optimistic are you still even after a night like tonight?
Like I told you last night, I don't sit and look at the standings and wish for other teams to lose. You take care of what you're supposed to take care of, everything else take care of itself. So I don't sit and build myself up with optimism. Want to be a winner, go win the game.
Why do you think there was a lack of grit tonight?
We'll figure it out.
What happened? There was that one possession. It seemed like there was a miscommunication late. What kind of happened?
Got bunched up, but we were bunched up all night. Spacing was awful.
Draymond, how do you expect the way you lost tonight to fuel the next two games? You've recently, this team, when it hasn't lost much, but when it has, it's come back strong. Obviously, those two losses on the trip, you come back and win in Memphis and L.A. What kind of carryover do you expect either way on this? How much do you think this will affect you guys going forward?
Every game is different. You can't carry one win to the next game. You can't carry a loss to the next game. So
Draymond,
we needed to win every game before. We still need to win every game.
Obviously, I could imagine it's frustrating to lose a game like this. You're a man of few words tonight. Was it the same in the locker room, or are you kind of having to talk to the guys about not showing up again with the lack of grit and sloppy on defense, in the words of head coach Steve Kerr?
No, I'm not doing that. We know what we're supposed to do. We're not children. We're adults. Champions. We know what it takes. Need to beat a dead horse. We messed around with the game. We lost. That's how it goes.
Is there a possession or kind of maybe an aspect to this one that stings the most?
No, not a possession. I just felt like we never, other than the first 5 minutes of the game and the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, and I never felt like we had control of them defensively. And so we left the door open. We know they're a really good three-point shooting team. They made 17 last night against the Clippers and hung in there and gave them a tough game. So this was not a surprise to see this kind of effort from the Spurs, but we couldn't contain them defensively. And when you do that, you leave the door open for for shots like they hit, like the one Harrison hit at the end.
You were minus 16 in the non-Steph
Yeah.
minutes. How significant was that?
Huge. I thought that was the key to the game. Top of the second, top of the fourth. We played two great quarters tonight, first quarter and third quarter. And then both of those quarters, top second, top four, they blitzed us. I think they went 19-3 in the second quarter. And then to go into the fourth with a 12-point lead and immediate, I think it was maybe a 12-4 start, in the fourth. And those were the two key stretches of the game.
I think you had 3 turnovers in the last minute or so, one on inbound, some other entry passes. So that just sloppy passing, or were there some overplaying that you guys just couldn't make up for?
I think sloppy execution. Our spacing wasn't great, and so they made some good plays there. For the most part for the game, we took care of the ball, and then in those last 2 minutes, and we've been playing really well down the stretch of games, closing games well. Tonight we weren't able to do it.
Obviously, we all know what this could mean for playoff standings. Do you talk to your team about that? Do you need something to try to change the mood or change the momentum after something like this?
This is the NBA, This is how it works. Everybody's good. Everybody's got talent. You're always vulnerable, no matter who you are. And it's going down to the wire for a reason. There's a lot of great teams in the West, and there's very few easy games. There's just very few games that fall into place. And because of the three-point line in the modern NBA, you're always vulnerable, and that's what got us tonight, 18 threes.
Coach, obviously a disappointing loss with you guys trying to win out the rest of the game so that you could make sure that you were in a pretty good position going into the playoffs now, dropping to the 7th seed. If you could share, what do you say to your team after a loss like this? What are you telling them looking forward after something like this to avoid?
We're already in the playoffs, and so this is what the playoffs feel like. A lot of pressure, lot on the line, tough losses, and so the only thing you can do is you pick up your chin off the floor and you get back at it the next day. So we got a huge game in Portland, and we'll fly there tomorrow and get these guys ready and right back at it.
Steve, what was harder to take the late turnovers by your veteran guys, or the fact that the Spurs shot better than 70% in that fourth quarter against your defense? What was tougher?
All of it. I mean, to lose a 12-point lead to start the quarter at home, that's tough. But give the Spurs credit; they played a great game, and Harrison has been hot for a couple weeks, and even the shots he missed tonight were halfway down. He hit just an incredible shot to win the game. So we try to pick up the pieces from this and get right back at it tomorrow, or Friday, I guess, in Portland, and look at the tape, see where we can get better, and that's what we're going to do.
Overall, in the game, do you think that their three-point shooting success was more your defense, or just they were hitting tough shots, or how much was it?
It felt like they broke us down off the dribble in that fourth quarter quite a bit. Castle did a good job getting into the paint, and I thought his three was a big one. He's about 28%. You don't expect him to make that one, but he knocked it down. Like I said, give him credit. That was a big one. I think it tied the game and kind of put us in a tough spot. They made the plays.
Hey, Steve. Chris Paul's been mum on his future as to if he's coming back next year. This could be your last time coaching against him. Obviously, someone you've coached for in the past. Just what makes his game so unique after having coached against him all these years, and more specifically, his pick and roll game so unique?
So he's one of the greatest point guards of all time, and it's a pleasure to coach him, and I imagine he'll keep playing next year because he's still really good.
Kuminga 18 minutes tonight, and just looked like you kind of trimmed it to an 8-man rotation in general. How difficult right now are your rotation choices, and particularly your fourth quarter rotation?
Yeah, I thought we really missed Gary tonight. We missed QP. Those guys. We've really developed a good groove rotation wise. With those two guys, and so that jumbled the rotation. You saw the first top of the second we had Guy out there. Top of the fourth we had JK, and so we're mixing and matching. We tried Trace for a few minutes as well, and but again, the key stretches of the game were top second, top fourth. That's where they got right back in the game, and so those are the rotation choices we have to make.
What do you think about the Spurs going to Harrison Barnes for that last shot, and then the emotion that poured out of him that he had that moment against a former team?
Well, it made sense to go to him because he can get the shot off over the top because he's big and he's been hot. So he made an incredible shot. I'm sure it's pretty sweet for him being a former Warrior, and anytime you can hit a shot like that, it's an incredible thrill. And Harrison's one of my favorite guys. I'll be happy for him after the season ends, but not tonight. Thanks.